To improve in your job is completely expected, but every year, several NBA players take leaps beyond what they're expected to. Perhaps that leap happens because of a role that's expanded within their team, an injury that happens. Maybe they have a baby. I feel like Fred VanVleet went crazy 3 years ago when he had a kid. There are a multitude of reasons NBA players would improve their game. Here are 3 players I believe that will break out in the 2023 NBA season. Can we just start? Can we be cool for a second and be okay that I think Nassir Little is a star? I think Nassir Little is Danny Green, and I'm not afraid to say that. 6'5", 7'1" wingspan. Yes, I'm a Trailblazers fan if you can hear it in my voice. I really believe he's going to be slotted in as the starting 3 guard in the Blazers this year. That would be Dame, Anthony Simons, Nassir Little, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic. Nassir's going to have a massive role, and his role is going to be stand in the fucking corner and maybe play team defense for once. Nassir Little's wingspan, being 7 foot at 6'5", gives him the ability to play up a position or two. Because of that, he'll likely be the starting 3, and his one-on-one defense is exceptional, but his team defense is, I don't know if it's communication, but it's left a lot on the table. I think this year he figures it out. He does not have a history in his young career of playing with players who are plus defenders, and maybe this is a fresh start. He's still just 22 years old, 6'5", 225, 7 foot wingspan, and he's going to be asked to do nothing but guard and shoot. Last year, he shot pretty fine. He finished well enough. He doubled his minutes played from year 2 to year 3. This is going into year 4 for him. And his efficiency metrics were pretty decent. There was a point in the league where he was averaging 14.5 points, like 6 rebounds for a decent stretch when the Blazers were tanking and terrible. He's coming back from an injury. He's yet to be slotted into a starting lineup where he's not like a primary scorer in any way, and is the 5th option on a 4 seed at best. I really feel like Nassir Little could break out. So Nassir Little, I expect to have an amazing season. Isaac Okoro is another guy. A lot of people are really down on Isaac Okoro, and I do not completely understand it. His offense has not been there. Last year, he shot up his three-point percentage, but his attempts are still less than 1 per game. He actually played less in last season than the season before by a couple minutes. But they need him. This whole Cavaliers team is really hinging on whether or not Isaac Okoro could be an effective 2. His defense is there, and in moments, in flashes, he seems like he could be an offensive player. He just hasn't pieced it together, really. When you talk about a player being most improved in the NBA, what you're really talking about is a player who's capable of taking a leap, and he hasn't flashed an amazing amount. I believe he's averaged like 9.8 points in season 1, maybe like 6 points in season 2. I really believe it's not unreasonable with an expanded role on an identified team, especially if they can get any minutes from their first round pick this year from Kansas. I could really see him averaging like 14 points, 6 rebounds, 1.5 assists. He's going to have the opportunity, and they're going to really need the floor spacing. If he could just hit a couple knockdown threes, if his efficiency can improve further than what it has now and survive a higher total shot attempts, then I really think Okoro could be that guy. He's young, and a lot of people forget he was the 5th overall pick, and if that piece hits, look out for a young Cavs team. The final guy on this list is PJ Washington, and I don't want to make light of anything that happened with Miles Bridges, but PJ Washington, prior to the Miles Bridges emergence, was really considered a more valuable player. He's still just 23 years old, 6'7", shot 37.5% from 3 over his career, and that's averaging 4+ attempts per game. He can play small ball 5 because of his wingspan and athleticism. He's a plus defender. He's averaging like 12 or so points per game, and he's going to have a role that should be massive, especially if Gordon Hayward doesn't stay healthy through the season. Charlotte's going to need some help, and a young Mark Williams, just drafted from Duke, won't be able to take over the center position immediately. It usually takes big men a couple years to step into spots like that. I have nothing bad to say about Mason Plumlee. Like, we could keep all the bad shit directed towards Miles Bridges. But Mason Plumlee's not the guy. There's a reason they drafted Mark Williams. And P.J. Washington, I think, is going to be the key to Charlotte's season this year. If he can maintain his efficiency and maybe improve his shot attempts, beyond that, if he could just get minutes. He's not a sixth man. He is a starting caliber player in the league. I believe he can average 18 points per game, playing great defense, being an incredibly versatile player. Just to be clear, I know it's versatile and not versatable. I just figured that that's worth clarifying. There are so many other players that could and will break out this upcoming season. I wanted to pick some that maybe won't be in everybody else's video. My name is Morgan. If this is the first video of mine you're seeing, I don't have any friends who watch basketball. So it's not about liking, it's not about subscribing. Fucking email me. Let me know what you think. Which players do you expect to break out in the 2023 NBA season? Please leave a comment below on the video or email me in my email in the description. Is it still down here? Has anyone gone back and watched early YouTube stuff like Fred? We should have known he was gay pretty early on. New videos sometime. Fucking email me. I don't know. See ya.